Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to chat to you about something a bit different than usual. I am going to be showing you how I edit my Instagram photos on my phone. So I usually start with importing all my photos to Lightroom, selecting my favorites. I'm doing the basic adjustments, so just the camera calibration and just sorting out the vignetting and so on. So no color, no other adjustments. And then once I have that done, I transfer my photos into my phone, usually around 2000 pixels. I don't go too big, but I don't go too small either, because the programs do tend to compress the images a bit, so you don't want them to look bad either. There are three programs that I mainly use. They are VSCO for colors, so I use it to tone my images, and then I use Airbrush and Facetune to do any minor adjustments on the face and so on. I would like to add, obviously it is not Photoshop, it's not as powerful as Photoshop, but if you have simple images that need simple adjustments, those kind of programs are absolutely perfect to do that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to get right into it and show you how I do it. I just wanted to mention that this video has been kindly sponsored by Squarespace. They're an award-winning platform to create your website, shop, anything like that. They have a great customer service that works 24/7 if you have any issues, but I highly doubt you will, because they're really good. They have super easy and beautiful templates. There's loads of them. You can pick and choose. You can change your website around. It's super affordable. So you're not spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on designers and so on. So I definitely recommend you guys check them out. If you do want to check them out, make sure to use my little discount code. It's squarespace.com/Anita, and you're going to get 10% at the checkout. So make sure to check them out. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I do. So I am going to start with any face adjustments before color. So color is always last. So I'm going to go into Airbrush, because I find Airbrush is better in terms of skin retouching when it comes to, the two programs between Facetune and the other one. Okay, so I have my image here. I am going to start with the face, as I mentioned. So I'm just going to start sampling the skin. It's basically the same as your healing brush. You just sample the skin, or you just click on the bad skin and then it just removes it. So it's super handy, it's really quick. As I said, it's obviously nothing, I don't think it will work well for like major acne or anything like that, but for simple kind of skin imperfections, it's absolutely perfect. Okay. You see a little before and after. We just removed a bunch of little spots. There isn't really much to fix. As I said, those kind of, adjustments, they work really well when you don't have that much to fix on the model and so on. Obviously, if it's requiring a heavy retouch, then it's not going to work. But it's just something to play around with, I think. But you can try and smooth it. I would be very careful about it though, because you don't want to lose the texture of the skin. So I might just do a tiny bit and see how it goes. So as you see, it's smoothed a tiny bit. It might be a bit too much for my liking, so I might just stay away from that. Okay, so I have that. I'm going to save the image into my library. Then I'm going to move on to Facetune. Okay, once I have it, I can go into Retouch. And I am going to go into Smooth and see, I think Facetune gives you a bit more control in terms of how much opacity you want on your photos. So I'm just going to start smoothing out the skin, and don't worry about it being too smooth, because as I said, you can kind of decide, you see this little tool here, you can decide how much smoothness you want on the face. You don't want it to be too unnatural. But to be perfectly honest, I think it actually looks quite decent. And now you can kind of decide Her skin is pretty good, so there isn't that much difference anyway. But maybe if we go maybe like 40% around there, and we'll just leave it at that. I think you can even add skin texture, as you can see here, which is kind of interesting. I find it's a very powerful tool. Now I understand how all the influencers and everybody does it. It's a really powerful tool, and it's shocking that you can actually do it on your phone. I kind of feel like a bit of a granny where I'm like, oh, what's this? Ooh. Okay, so obviously the skin texture thing is very strong. So I might literally maybe go on like 7. You don't really need more. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. There is no more changes needed really. You can have other stuff, like you can reshape the face, you can... I find it's really, that the paint tool is actually really good as well. You can tone your images, so you can add a skin tone. So you can actually go, I would usually go into like a darker brown, because you obviously want the girls to look really tanned. And then you can just go over the skin. And then again, I mean, right now it looks ridiculous because it's really strong, but just bear with me. Okay. So I'm just going to apply it over the entire face and the entire body. And then I'm just going to put it up to maybe like 24 and 25, literally. Just something really subtle. So you see, it darkens the tone a tiny bit. I tried it on another image where half the model was darker and the other half was lighter. I think it's just because she wasn't tanning evenly or whatever. And it matched the legs really well. So something to consider. Okay, once I have that, I am going to save to camera roll. And I'm going to move on to my last step, which is VSCO. I use VSCO quite a lot. There's few filters that I like in particular. One of them is 06. I find it gives you those lovely kind of earthy, kind of deep tones. Another one that I like is C1, but I usually bring it down a bit. So I bring it down maybe like halfway, but it depends on the image. I think in this particular case, I think it makes it a bit too orange. Now there's also C2 that I like. I tried C6 before, and I find C6 really nice because it gives your tones this kind of more orangey kind of look, or not orangey, sorry, more magenta kind of look. So yeah, and I usually put it like halfway. Around there. So as you see, it just makes your image, maybe it's a bit more, maybe 7. It just kind of tones your images really nicely and gives it almost like a vintage feeling, which I really like. Okay, once I have that, I would go and sharpen a bit. Not too much again, because you just don't want to kind of overdo it. And then finally, I am going to add some grain. Again, I don't want too much grain. You can go really overboard, but I think it just kind of ruins the quality of the image. So I would usually keep it to 1.5, maybe 2, kind of depending on the shot. Again, to kind of give it a bit more of a vintage kind of feeling. Okay, so once I have that, you can see the before and after. It's very subtle. It's literally just about the toning the image and nothing else. So once I have that, I'm just going to save. And have my image. So yeah, this is basically how I retouch my photos on my phone. I hope you found it helpful. Lots of you have been asking me about tones in the last few weeks, and I have been using all those tools for my retouching for my swimwear. I find it gives me a nice step back to what I would usually retouch like. It makes my photoshopping much lighter because obviously I can't do as much. So it kind of challenges me to try different things and, kind of use different profiles and different colors and stuff, and kind of step outside my comfort zone in a way, because I wouldn't do those colors normally in Photoshop. As I said, it's not usually something that I do for clients, obviously, because it does bring the image quality down a good bit, but for Instagram resolution, it's absolutely perfect. So if that's something that you like, definitely give it a go, give it a try, see how it goes. And I hope you have fun. Okay guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and I will see you next time.